All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So Mike Sando from The Athletic did a piece where he talked to an NFL executive, and by the way, I'll leave that article linked down below in the description box, about Aaron Rodgers, right? What his future holds, what's in store for the Green Bay Packers moving forward. And one thing that was super interesting was that the NFL executive, who wasn't named, believed that Rodgers, in a way, held the Green Bay Packers hostage to a certain degree, and he really wanted to secure that big money contract extension. Of course, we all know, what happened last offseason. There was a ton of speculation that Rodgers could be traded to Denver to follow Nathaniel Hackett. Obviously, Denver has a stacked team with the weapons and the defense. The home field advantage is another big draw of Denver. It ended up not happening. He signed that 3-year extension with Green Bay. Denver pivoted. They went out and they acquired Russell Wilson. Now, what was interesting was that the executive went on to list off teams that he felt like would be a good fit and then not a good fit. As far as the Raiders go, he said that they might work better with a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo because, Garoppolo obviously knows what McDaniels wants to do offensively. He has experience working with McDaniels. And really everybody in that New England Patriots organization, they loved him and they held him in such a high regard. And again, according to this executive, he believes a reunion between the two parties, McDaniels and Garoppolo, could take place this offseason. We move on to the Tennessee Titans, and this one was really interesting because he said that he thinks Tennessee is actually a great spot for A-Rod because of Vrabel being there. And this is kind of a side point, but Rodgers, I didn't know this. My buddy Bosarowski Productions on YouTube told me this. I guess Aaron Rodgers is building a house in Tennessee, and Vrabel and Matt LaFleur have connections. So there's a chance that, Tennessee's a really good fit. Obviously, Derrick Henry, one of the best backs in football. And you look at some of the star power on defense, I could see Tennessee making a run, but I feel like all the talk is with the Jets, all the talk is with the Raiders, or, him staying with the Green Bay Packers. But that was a little surprising. The Tennessee, how the executive here believes that the Titans are actually the best spot. We move on to the New York Jets, and he said that he doesn't know how Rodgers would fit with New York. Now, obviously, Saleh and Matt LaFleur have connections here as well, just like Vrabel and Matt LaFleur. But I don't know. It didn't sound too committal. Right, it definitely, the way the article was worded, his responses here, it definitely sounded like Titans number one, the best fit for him, then the New York Jets, and then the Raiders are obviously in play for Jimmy. So it's just an interesting little piece of information here. Of course, nothing is set in stone. This is all kind of what this anonymous executive believes. But to say that Rodgers really held the Green Bay Packers hostage and that Green Bay is done with him now that he signed his extension, and it just doesn't really seem like Green Bay wants to continue to get older as a roster. They have a bunch of really nice young talent, and that they would prefer to move on and really let Jordan Love finally, crack the field. Being that first-round pick, having the 3 years on the bench, all that experience watching one of the best quarterbacks of all time play. So, of course, we'll see what happens after the Darkness retreat. But, I felt like over the last couple of days, the Tennessee Titans hype was starting to die down. But apparently, to this executive here, the Titans are fully in the mix. Now, it does beg the question, if the Titans acquire Rodgers, what happens with Ryan Tannehill? They would probably just outright release him. The new general manager there actually has not been committal on Tannehill. Like, he has, literally, publicly, he has not said, yeah, Tannehill's our guy. And we look at Tannehill's contract, $18 million dead cap hit. If he's released, I don't know. It's interesting. There's been small rumblings last, I want to say, week that Tannehill is not going to, doesn't really have a future in Tennessee, and that Tannehill would actually be okay with leaving, right? Okay with parting ways. Josina Anderson was on CBS Sports the other day, and she said that the New York Jets could be targeting a quarterback that isn't necessarily available right now, but could maybe become available in the future. And that obviously sparks up a ton of different ideas, right? Who's the mystery quarterback here? Is it Dak Prescott? Is it Jordan Love? Is it Ryan Tannehill? Who's the guy? Is it Lamar Jackson? Who's the guy right now that people aren't really expecting to be moved, but in the end could be moved? Obviously, A-Rod's not on that list. Carr, no, right? Jimmy G, no. Baker, no. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are expected to, switch teams here. Who's the guy that Anderson is referring to? It's interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on that. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Just found it pretty interesting, right? This whole take that Rodgers held Green Bay hostage here, just wanted the big money extension, and now he's free to go and do whatever he wants. I feel like that's a real, it really makes Rodgers look like a complete villain to the NFL. And according to Rodgers, on the McAfee show, he kind of embraces that role of being, a villain. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, go Jets.